Hi guys, I'm super confused because this is Tome 5, and I apparently have all journal entries, of which there are 14. I've never done a challenge in Tome 5, so I don't know, but we'll just... a win's a win, huh? So yeah, let's get started, but yeah, curious. The night. It is impossible to describe the horrifying scenes I have witnessed. Death and misery, and every shape of terror, rule this place. I can no longer recall how I have come to this place. All I remember is the opaque, milky fumes of opium in the murky den hazing a sweet, welcoming abyss. I awoke to dreadful screams in the night at the feet of an old tree that leaked foul-smelling fluids. I know not how to reach those poor souls, nor do I want to. Keeping a record is all I have to do to make sense of it. Vigo. I discovered a hidden laboratory while running away from a monster. Its stocks are uncommonly plentiful. God, I wish I could read. I observed shelves of alkaloids, crates of silver syringes, piles of protective clothing, and a journal signed Vigo. Its pages are filled with notes on an ancient force that controls the nature of this place, that shapes it. I also noted a few drawings of the growing cankers I've seen on trees. The Blight. I have been obsessively deciphering Vigo's journal. His work is elegant but erratic, drawing obscure conclusions from disjointed fields. Most entries mention a powerful force, the Entity, which undergoes a purge that occurs once a year. During this period, the Entity is infested with Blight. According to Vigo, cankers bloom in pustulas, a type of flower that spurts putrid nectar. The thick fluid I saw oozing from the trees. The last pages of the journal mention a serum distilled from the nectar, but the pages detailing its effect and preparation were torn out. Wounded. I'm hiding in a dense strip of forest. I'm desperate to erase the distressful images engraved in my mind. Last night, a disfigured man barged into the laboratory with a gruesome mechanical mouth and shred the walls into splinters. I barely escaped my life and wounded my arm in the process. I have no options left. These monsters find me no matter where I go. All I have is a journal filled with obscure promises of escape. I will return to the laboratory. Experiment. I am close to death. I can feel it. When I returned to the laboratory, I started experimenting with the putrid nectar and distilled it into a foul serum. But I made a terrible mistake. I injected the serum into a dead rodent whose pupils dilated and its body shook. I tried to restrain it, but the creature bit into my arm, ripping my wound open. I stopped the bleeding, but I fear the damage is done. Experiment 2. I awoke to a terrible cry booming from the cellar and a violent bout of nausea. Through the vile ordeal, I started to recollect what had happened. Tainted with the foul serum, my wound had swollen with lymph, at which point my assailant returned. Most of our fight was a blur, but I can recall red tears trickling down his gruesome cheeks as I clawed at his face. And some moment later, when I kicked him, sending him crashing into a brick wall, the power I felt then, there are no words for it. I know now that there is truth to Vigo's methods. Another cry, my assailant now chained in the cellar, must be getting restless. This is just the beginning. The Peak. I should have foreseen his escape given the potent dosage I administered him, but I needed to see results. Pustule flowers are now blooming on the path leading to the laboratory. According to Vigo's journal, this rapid spread is a sign that the Blight is at its peak. Soon there will be no more putrid nectar to extract. Exhausted. I slept very little. The acute throbbing in my wounds sent me on a restless, agitated drowse. I have no strength left to be patient, and my distress fosters brutal methods. There are no lines I will not cross. Restless. I limited my rest to only a few minutes here and there. I cannot afford wasting time. Pustulas, once lush with nectar, were withering away at the roots of cankerless trees. I can only extract droplets from a few frail flowers. I'm running out of time. At last. Based on Vigo's calculations, tonight is my last chance. I filled a syringe with the last drops of serum and injected it into my arm. The end. I did everything right and failed. I am stuck in this infernal place with no serum and nowhere to hide. I looked for Vigo. I shouted his name with no concern for the monsters lurking about. I need to find him. I picture the scene, etching a canvas of wild lines in my mind, focusing on the moon, and I know something is off. I fed the dead rodent under my pillow. Okay. Pray. Soon, very soon, I will be at peace. The cold claws of death are drawing near. It's here. The entity is here. It has found me. Is this the creation of the Blight? It must be. Right? Let's see. Changing the Alchemist from Tome 1 into the Blight. That's what I'm going to go with. So was he a survivor at one point? Is that the idea? Is that Trapper? He's got his overalls on. And that's kind of his weapon, isn't it? Maybe. Bye bye plants. See you next year. Okay, well, I am confused, but alright.